Hey everyone, this is Tom from TNA Automotive here, and in today's video we will be showing you how to install an aftermarket double DIN touchscreen radio into the same location as your old stock radio in an '06 Dodge Ram.
Alright, first step today is we're going to get the wiring harness wired up to the radio wires. Will be wired up to the new wiring harness. This wiring harness is actually for the 7-speaker system in the Dodge Rams because they have a factory amp in them.
So as I remove the wiring harness from the packaging, this is a PAC C2R-CHY4 wiring harness, which is made for 2004 to 2008 Dodge Rams and other select Chrysler vehicles. But this wiring harness, it comes with two different wiring harnesses in it, and you'll actually only use one because the other one is for the navigation system if you have it. You can find this out just by plugging it in. Now to get your old radio out, you got to start with just removing the pop clips, which there's one in each corner of the dashboard trim. Once you get these out, all you have to do is kind of wiggle it around with the shift lever and it'll just hang there. Now using a Phillips head screwdriver, you want to remove the 4 screws that hold in the radio along with the other 2 screws that hold in the storage pocket underneath the radio. This storage pocket will not be needed anymore because with the new radio you lose this space. Popping out the old radio, you'll need to remove the stock radio harness and the stock antenna wire. Also, when you're removing the radio, you'll have to remove that pocket, the storage pocket right there. And then if you look at the old stock wiring harness, the smaller plug you will actually not use. Now with your new PAC wiring harness, plug it into the stock radio wiring harness to see which one you will be using out of the two. Now that you picked the correct wiring harness, just push them together and shake them around, and before you know it, boom, it's done. Just kidding, it doesn't work that way. Now all you actually got to do is take wire strippers and strip, twist, and plop some solder on there, matching the wires by color. If you desire, you can always use a shrink wrap tubing. Make sure you slide this on the wire before you connect them together, or else it's going to be kind of annoying. You could also use tape. Once you get all the wires matched up and connected, sometimes I just throw some tape or a fast tie, and you're just going to take your whole wiring harness assembly, and you got to plug in that PAC adapter right there. Make sure you don't plug it into the one for steering wheel control. I don't have steering wheel control, but you might have it. And then next part is the radio. I ordered this radio off of Crutchfield Audio, which is a great site. You can search by your vehicle. That's how I also got the wiring harness. This is a Xera radio. It's on the cheaper side for Crutchfield Audio, but I found it to have been a very good radio. Last I've had it in for about 2 weeks now. So you just want to connect in your wiring harness with the wires that connect to the radio, and then you need this adapter. This is for the antenna adapter, so you can have AM/FM radio. Plug her in the back, and you are set to go and put her in your car. Once in your vehicle, you just want to plug in your radio side of the adapter into the car's adapter. Also make sure you get that antenna adapter plugged in, and then you want to test it. Turn your car on, getting the power going, and make sure the radio works. I also suggest testing the sound. Make sure all the connections are good to different speakers and you're not missing one. Well, once you know your radio works, it is time to put the mounting brackets on. I got these brackets from Crutchfield. They came with the wiring harness, and they attach really easily with just like a few screws. Now installing your new radio into the dash is pretty simple. We'll simply just slide it into the old spot the old radio was, and with those new brackets, the 4 screws you took out that held the old radio in, you should just use those same exact screws to put the new one right back in. Now, since the radio is actually bigger than the original opening, what you're going to need to do is with a Dremel is remove that center bar. That bar is what divides the old radio and the storage pocket. Also, what you want to do with the Dremel, if you're good enough, or use a file, is you want to file down the edges on the left and right side of the radio of the trim to allow it to fit perfectly. What's always included with your package is the trim piece that goes on the outside and covers up the marks you made with the Dremel trying to widen the trim. Once you get this thing on, it snaps right on. There's also about 2 screws on the back that just keep it clamped on. And when it's attached to the dash, you can get everything popped back in, make sure it lines up with the radio perfectly, and get all the dash pieces clipped right in, and you are set to use your new radio.